guys, welcome back to Bait and Tackle. I'm your host Joe Frank, and today we're going to do another organizational video. And what I got planned here is I have these 3 different types of injector hangers that I got from my man Ngraves Bait Molds. And these are 3D printed, but we're going to see how we can design and lay out my wall of injectors over here on the right. Now I have 1 triple, two duals, and I have a whole bunch of singles, which I think I'm going to get rid of one of the singles because it's one of those cheap do-it mold ones, which I'm not a fan of the do-it mold ones. They're very thin, really hot, and the end comes off really easy. I am a big fan of the screw-on tips or the I think the bass tackle ones, and I think N2 does it as well, where it has a locking pin. I like those a lot better. I'm still kind of old school. I started with Lurecraft and I just kind of have just stuck with it. So those have kind of been my favorites. But let's get down to the bench. We can check these hangers out. We can kind of take a look at this wall and see how I'm going to lay this out. Now there's a couple injectors I do have that are too big, like this right here from N2. It's just too big of an injector to be putting up on the wall. So he's going to stay over here on the side. And then I think I have another one of the big ones. Another giant one just like that. I'm not sure if that's, I think that's bass tackle, not sure, but same thing. It's just too big to be putting up on the wall in there. So I'm just gonna, and I rarely use those ones, so we're just gonna go ahead and get the hangers ready for like I've got 2 ounce, 3 ounce, 4 ounce, and I think 6 is the biggest I've got. I don't think I have anything, well, the bigger ones are down here, and I think those are 8s or 10s or something like that. I can't remember. That's probably one thing I need to go through and do, is label how many ounces each injector is, because that's just one thing I've never kept track of. Is I just, you know, guesstimate, shoot it with a big enough one. Over the years I've just been kind of, you just grab them whichever one that I need and kind of do it. But let's get down to the bench and check these cool hangers out. Okay, so you can see the mess that I have here on my workbench, and we're going to try to make this a little bit better. So for a 2 injector or a 3 injector, you can have the 2 balls. See how he's got these little notches set in there? You can have those set in there, and it keeps that arm perfectly level. So let's just take for an example. We got this dual right here. It goes in here and it sets just like that, okay? And then this bracket screws onto the wall, and then in front of it you can actually put your block. So you can put the block associated with it in the front, so it carries the injector and the block. And then it's also got these awesome screw holes to put it on the wall. And I think he was talking about maybe doing some different types of these, where maybe possibly into a pegboard or something like that. I will talk to him, and if anybody has any interest in that, please reach out to me and I will get to Norris and we can figure that out, because I think that's something that he would like to offer, is different types of connections, right, instead of just screwing onto the wall. But for my wall, I wanted it to be screw. So there's a 2. Then there's the single long one for a regular injector, but you can also put a block on the front, okay? So I'm not sure which ones of these I'm using yet, but really cool. Same idea, just a single injector. And we're gonna get these put up on the wall, and we're gonna see how we make out. And then here is just a single injector, just the injector without the block, okay? So I need to see what I need. I think I'm gonna use all these and see how many we get, because I've got 3 sets. So I know I'm going to use a dual for this one. I'm going to use a dual for the triple with the block, and then I'm going to use this other dual for that one, okay? So I got 3 of those to squeeze onto that wall, and I got to see if I can even squeeze all those onto the wall together, because that is a lot of real estate, and I'm not sure if I have that much real estate on that wall. So let me just take a quick measurement here. Looks like we roughly need about 23 inches, and inside here we have 22.5, so we can just barely squeeze it in. What I'm thinking is my triple I don't use as much, going to put him probably back here in the corner, and then we'll try to squeeze all my single injectors, which I need to back you guys up so you can see the wall, and probably do something like that. So associated blocks with each one, I'm trying to get these together, because this is bass tackle, this is N2, and this is my lure craft. I've got my lure craft there. This is the bass tackle triple, and this is the bass tackle dual, but we're not going to do that yet. Then there's the N2, there's the N2 block right there that goes with that one. And then I also have the SDG multi-block from N2, and then I also have the C block from AI, Angling AI. So there's those there. So what I need to do is figure out how many other ones I need here. So this is for these. Probably going to use this injector. I use a lot. Second to probably this one, which is the next size down. I think it's a 4 and a 3. And I could be wrong. It could be a 6 and a 4. And then I've got these. I know these are 2s for sure. These little dinky guys that I love using these for just little tiny stuff, right? Like all your little nano baits and you know, other stuff like that. So I've got 3 sets of 2 duals and 1 triple, plus I have 4 singles that I want to hang up. So I got enough here for, let's see, 1, and then I've got blocks here too, so I think I'm going to do the long ones, and then I've got 2 short ones for the little guys probably, or maybe even do the long ones with the blocks on the singles. I'm not sure yet. I haven't figured that out. So we need to see what we need here, but I think I'm going to end up using 2 of those and 2 of these. And then I'm going to have a spare one of each of these left. So I may put those somewhere else and hang my bigger ones outside the cabinet. So this is what we got. Let me get you a view of the wall over here. Then that way you guys can see. And this is the injector that I'm not gonna be using because it pushes the tip out, and I'm not a big fan. It's really thin walled aluminum. This is the original Do It injector. So this one's probably gonna go bye-bye. And then yeah, and then I've got like spare O-rings for a lot of my injectors. I think those are for the lure crafts, which I gotta be honest, I've never replaced O-rings on these injectors. Tell me if anybody has replaced an O-ring, because I've never done it before. As long as you keep them oiled and you keep everything in good working order, I oil them religiously. So I really don't see the need of replacing the gasket unless it dries out and breaks. But I always keep them oiled, so they're always wet. They're always, you know, functioning. I don't know. That's just me, I guess. So let me get you a view up there. We got some old hardware that I hung up that we're going to take down. And then we're going to start hanging these up and figuring out where we're going to place them. All right, so this is probably the best view you guys are going to get. But let me start taking this hardware off. And I need to save those screws because I'm going to reuse those screws. And this is going to be a little bit difficult too because I have these, yeah, and I've got these pins as well, but I'm just going to set those down here for now. But I've got to take all these down. I got to see if I have more screws first of all, but I also need to see if these screws are actually going to fit and what type of screws we're going to need. Those silver screws are actually perfect, and the reason I say that is because that plywood is very thin. It's only a 1/4 inch plywood, so that right there is perfect enough to bite into it. So I believe that's a 3/4 inch length screw, and I don't remember the size, but by the end of this video I will let you guys know what size they are, because I need to go get more out of the garage, and I'm almost positive I have more of these in the garage. So let me let me just do a speed run and we'll get the rest of these down, and then then I'll go get the rest of the screws that we need. Alright guys, so hopefully you can see me okay. It's going to be a little bit more person-to-person video, and I like doing these organizational ones. So I took down all the old hardware up there, as you can see. I need to go find these screws in the garage. I'm going to go get those, and then I'm going to bring them back down here and show you exactly what size you need to buy. Alright guys, so I found some screws, but they're not the ones I really want or need. So these are number 6s, and they're 3/4 inch long, but these say metal, which is a finer thread, and I'm not really super happy about that, but that's all I've got right now, and I'm not going to run to the store. I believe the ones I took out of the wall, I'm going to use all those first. Those, especially on the heavier injectors, the bigger ones, the duals and the triple, these are number 8s by 3/4, and they are wood screws. Okay, so that's what you want to get. So I brought down a little screwdriver just in case we needed it to put them in the wall. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get my drill in there enough. Probably not. And I should probably go out and get a long handled, and maybe I'll get an extension for my drill too. So let me go get a couple things to see if it helps, and then we'll get mounting these things up. All right, so I found a long screwdriver just in case, and I found a really long extension, which is what I was looking for. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in the drill, because this is gonna work a heck of a lot better, being able to put those in, you know, tight underneath where these screw holes are, right? See them? See how tight they are? Instead of having the drill up in there and trying to drill at an angle or screw at an angle, we can screw it like that. So the idea here is the first dual injector looks like the Ngraves thing is just wide enough to be pretty much the width of that dual injector. So what we're going to do here, and I know this is going to be kind of tight, and I don't know how much of this you can actually see. You probably can't. You see my hand way back up in there? So I'm going to go ahead and put that guy really close. Well, I can't put it too close to the wood because it's got to have enough for that ball to drop in, and it's got to have enough to fit around where my thing is there, like that. Okay, so I need to come down about that far. Right there is probably good. Then I can pick it up and pull it out when I need to. And like I said, I don't use that one, and actually I don't use the triple nearly as much, but I think I'm going to put the triple in the middle anyway, because it just it's kind of cool piece to look at. So I'm going to go ahead and put one screw here. Drop my bit. Okay, so I got one screw holding it up. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest in. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this with these bottles in the way, but we're going to try. Okay. And I don't think I'm going to be able to put in that third one. I'm just going to leave it just like that. That's fine. All right. So we're going to go ahead and put this one there so we know where it goes. Okay, back in there. And the block we're going to hang with it. Can you guys see that? Hopefully you guys can see that. I mean, it's tight in the corner. The next ones will kind of make sense, right? Because you'll see them come across here. And I'm sorry, I don't really have a really good camera view, and I got this black bar that's in my way because of that's my filming bar that holds the camera. So I wanted to make sure that we can get around it. But we're going to go ahead and do the triple now, which is just going to be just like this. Okay. But we got to have enough room for the other dual. So let's go ahead and put that there. And let's go ahead and put this one here. Oh, we got plenty of room. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pop this out of here, and that's just a little tool I use to kind of, so I think I'm going to space it like that, and then I'm going to put the other one like right there that I use all the time. Okay, so I think right there is good. Let me get one screw in it very carefully, and I kind of want to try to make this level with the other one. Okay, and then I need one more, and like I said, I want to try to keep it semi-level, so I'm just going to try to eyeball it the best I can. Normally I would get a level out and make sure that we're where we need to be, but I think that's perfectly fine. I'm not going for perfection. I'm just trying to show you guys how these hangers are and what they can do. So there's the triple block. Isn't that awesome, guys? It's just a great little, and I guess I can move that over just depending on which way I want, probably like that. But isn't that great? So you pull the block off, pull this off the wall, and go. I mean, that's awesome. So really cool. I like the fact that this one kind of moves a little bit, so you got a little bit of leeway, but that's perfect. I love that. That is fantastic. And I guess I could push it out like this. Then that way you can see the wing nuts on them and stuff like that. Okay. And then we got one more to do dual wise. This is my favorite, my lure craft, and he's gonna go right there in line with those. So I've already got a screw there, and I'm gonna pull this injector out and down just so I've got room here, but I've already got a screw there, as you guys can see right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and level this up, eyeball. This one's gonna be different because he is kind of a different injector. Okay, so the thing about these metal screws is they got fine threads on them, and if I go too hard and too fast, it's just gonna strip it out through the wood. Okay, and that actually looks pretty level right there. Hopefully, yeah, it looks good. So just nice and tight. Don't get too crazy, because like I said, this is only getting screwed into 1/4-inch plywood. My box is just 1/4-inch plywood. It's not, you know, it's not meant to withstand all this pressure. So, but nice and sturdy. Nice and sturdy. That, you know, that plastic, that printed 3D printed plastic, absolutely fine. Here's my lure craft block. Set it right there. So there's my blocks. I'm going to push this back up so we can figure out how we're going to hang the rest of my injectors. Now, we've got 4 singles to do, which that right there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to start over here and probably hang him right there, which is my probably second most used, and this is probably my 3rd most used, or 2nd, 3rd, whatever. And I'll probably go like that, and then I'll probably do, you know, we'll go like that, and just underneath it, right? Just to kind of keep the flow going there. And on these, since I use these injectors a lot, I'm just going to use the single injector hanger. That's all I'm going to do, is just do a single injector just like that. So let me get, I think I'm out of the screws that I took out of the wall, which were the good ones, the wood ones, not the metal ones. That's right, I forgot I was using the wood ones. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Get one pinned. Okay. And then I'm going to put the other one in and make sure my injector is pretty level. I'm just eyeballing it here between the wall, and it looks good, just like that. I'll go ahead and button it up. So there's that. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to do one more single right here. And I'm going to go ahead and doing what I've been doing, just hanging the injector on it. Then that way I can get kind of a good eyeball to where it needs to go. And I think I might move it over just a little bit so there's some space there. Okay, right there. It looks good to me. I'm going to put one screw in it, and then we'll eyeball the rest of it here. Oh, that looks great. That looks great. Okay, so there's that. And now we're going to do our single, but with a block holder, which I have 2 more blocks sitting here. Actually, I got 3 more blocks sitting here. I have the SDG multi-block, which I use a fair amount, the C block, the AIC block, which I don't use a ton, and then I've also got the Bass Tackle Dual, and the reason I bought the Bass Tackle Dual was because I have a triple, and you could just take one of them out and just use the 2 in the bracket and just have a dual injector. So really the triple is a single, a dual, and a triple, right? It's all 3. So I just bought the dual block, then that way I had that as along with the triple block, okay? So let me get this here. And what I need to do is probably space these out enough to where I can put the block in like this, and then that way it can sit there and hold the block, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking maybe like, I don't know, I'll try to come up level like that, or maybe I should go down here, or do them on top of each other. How's that? Like do one up here and do one down here. Then that way the blocks are kind of right there in the middle. So let me take the block off. And I think that's how I want to do it. And then this one, the bigger one, the N2, he's also got a screw, the N2, and it can vary between which one you want. So I'll just keep it on there for right now. Just keep it on this block. This is the N2 SDG multi-block. But I'm going to keep it on there. What I'll do is flip it upside down. So what we'll do is we'll have one injector here with the SDG block like that, and we'll just hang it up right there. Okay, and that way it just keeps it up out of harm's way, keeps it good. I'm probably going to lower that down just a little bit, then that way it's, you know what I mean? Although I need to see, because I'd like to do it too where I'll have one more down here on the bottom like that. So maybe what I'll do is do it like that, right? So there's one on top of each other, the small ones, the small blocks that I use. And then I may put another one over here or up here to hold just the block, okay? So let's do this. Let's get this in place. And I'm just thinking a future expansion too, because I mean, I don't foresee getting any more blocks. And actually this block right here is probably going to be in the way. So what I want to do is lower this down just a little bit, and then that way you can get the triple out of there and it's not going to snag or anything like that. And we're actually, yeah, probably like right there. Okay. Okay. So we'll just for giggles, let's take this off. Put this other screw in here, make sure it's level. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. And then the other one is going to go right underneath it. And I've got plenty of room there. That's perfect. Get 2 more screws here. And then I think I'm going to take one more of these. I'm going to take one more of these. I'm just going to line it up like that because I don't use these that often and I want to keep it kind of high. Okay, there's that. And then the other side. Okay, there's that right there. So now SDG block can go there, and the Bass Tackle Dual can go there. Or I'm sorry, not the Bass Tackle Dual, the C block, or I guess the Bass Tackle, doesn't matter, one of the two. Those are dual blocks, so just keep them right there. And then the C block or other blocks, I think what I'm going to do is just take one of these, take this other single injector with the block holder. I mean, I could just do a single injector, but it's not going to hold it. It's rounded. So probably going to take this one right here. And then if I get another one, what I'll do is just put it right there. So that'll give me room. I'll put it right there. That'll give me room to hold the block. and then it also gives me room to play around over here by my vacuum chamber pot and everything like that. And I've got a smaller pot. I don't know if you guys have seen that in the last couple videos, but I've gotten a smaller pot only because I don't do a lot of big batch stuff as much. So there's that right there. Okay, AIC block, and it's out of the way. So that came out really good. So I can get rid of all these. I might hang on to these, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, and we'll see. I'm gonna put them somewhere so they're out of the way. But I've got a lot of little screw doodads and whatnot from molds, and little screw holders for different things and whatnot, and I've got separators for molds right here and stuff like that, and I don't need these anymore. And these are pins out of one of the molds. I'm not sure which mold it's out of, but I'm just going to stick them up here on the ledge to get them out of the way. And just stick these up here, get these out of the way in case I need them. And then look, I just freed up kind of some of that space. So oh, you guys weren't even seeing that. So let me give you guys kind of a cool view here. I'm going to pop the camera off the stand. Okay, so what that did was kind of freed up this area here and all that back there. Those are just sprue extensions back there. But how's this, guys? Look at that. Look at that, nicely, neatly organized. Got two duals, a triple in the middle, holding the blocks and the injectors. Isn't that incredible? Very, very well organized, and I love it. I think that actually looks stupendous. I'm trying to back up a little bit so you guys can see the whole thing. But look at that. So I've got my injectors there, I got my colorants, and we got plans here, guys. Like the vacuum chamber is going to stay there. We got plans. The microwave's actually going to come out of this cabinet at some point, and there's going to be more Friendcraft shelving here, and then I'm going to, you know, probably bring the microwave outside into another cabinet, which I haven't showed you guys yet. I bought a new cabinet to put together, so that's going to be part of the organizational series too. But this is today's organizing your injectors. Again, Ngraves Bait Molds. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you enjoyed that. Another organizational series video of organizing your injectors. I don't know how many y'all have. I have quite a bit. I've been doing this for a while, and I bought a whole bunch of different kinds. If you guys remember, you might want to go back and check out. I did a video on injectors and what was kind of the caveat between which ones, kind of thing. Like I think I compared like Bass Tackle and N2 and Lurecraft and Do It and all those kind of things. I think I did that, and it was a long time ago. I may revisit that video, and I may do like a maybe best of type dual injector battle. I don't know, what do you guys think of that? Post a comment below and let me know what you think. Maybe do like a comparison of dual injectors, same colors, and just see if there's a difference with the blocks. Like, because I know that SDG and N2 did that multi-block, and it is a phenomenal block compared to the other ones. So maybe what we ought to do is a dual injector battle type thing and see which one kind of comes out with the best laminates. Do the same molds, different blocks and different injectors, and just see what, you know, which one does better. And then the N2 one, obvious, or the SDG, obviously I would use with the N2 setup. But let me know what you guys think. But this video was primarily just to show you guys the Ngraves Bait Molds injector holders for organization, stuff that we can kind of come up with, that I'm helping him a little bit and he's helping me, and we're kind of just going at this organizational thing in a little bit different pattern, trying to think of other things that you guys might be able to use to help you out with organization in the bait shop. So Sticker Mule store is going great, guys. Will you please go get some swag, go get some t-shirts, stickers, whatever. I've got hats on there. I've got all sorts of stuff on there. Go get you some. They're really cool, good quality products. Sticker Mule is pretty good. I've been wearing their stuff for a while now. Over time, I think the prints may fade a little bit, but I know they've made some modifications to their things, and they're good quality. The shirts themselves, super comfortable, nice to wear. This isn't one of them, but I'm just saying they're very comfortable, very nice to wear. I think most of mine are black, so I probably need to just start working on maybe offering some different colors. I think there's a couple in there that are gray and stuff like that. So go check that out, buy something. And Barlow's Tackle, guys, go use my code B8N Tackle, all one word, all uppercase. I don't know if it matters if it's uppercase or lowercase, but Bait and Tackle is the code. Go use that. Gives me some more credit towards buying some more products to show you guys on the channel. And then I also did a video, the last video I did a hack on one of the lead molds, and I'm thinking about doing another one of those. You guys really like that, got really good views. So I'm thinking about maybe finding something else we can do something like that, you know, along the same lines. And I think I may have found one that might be a little bit weird. It might be different, but kind of would put a cool spin on things. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And like I said, always remember to keep on baiting.